Okay, I did the second part of this assos jodah review now. Some great scenery behind. Not sure if it's going to show up on the GoPro, but you've got the two clear hills there on the border with Wales. So I'm at the high point of today's ride. I think it's about 600 foot elevation, something like that. Absolutely fantastic morning, just above freezing when I came out. There's a bit of a wind now coming down, I think. I'm not sure which direction. Feels like from the north maybe, I'm not sure, but it's quite chilly. You can feel it going around the outside of the jacket, but I'm wearing the assos RS winter jacket, the jodah, size small. First ride in it this morning. I got out early, which I don't ordinarily do, but because the temperatures are going up now, I wanted to test this jacket in the cold, which is what it's primarily designed for. I'm just wearing a assos springfall short sleeve base layer underneath and nothing else. I've paired it with a pair of the assos RS9 shorts, and I've got some Sportful Fiandre no rain leg warmers on, some Endura neoprene overshoes, the Endura early winter gloves, I guess you might say, but they're windproof. But I feel lovely and warm, and I've intentionally took it easy this morning. I've really enjoyed the ride. Going off subject a little bit, but I stopped off to film some large black pigs, which I'm a fan of, and they were snuffling around in the forest. Someone's got them in like a big enclosed field, and took some photographs of them, and all the spring lambs are in the field now. The birds are singing, goldfinches are in the trees. I'm standing here now next to a farmer's gate, and there's the freshest green leaves are starting to emerge on the hawthorn. So yeah, it's a brilliant time of year, and I've got the day off. I had yesterday off. I'm working a weekend. I'm not usually an early morning person in terms of getting out and riding. It's something which I've never done, but I wanted to make the most of the day today and test this jacket when it was cold. It's definitely something I could be converted to if I hadn't got to go to work, but unfortunately I do. But yeah, the jacket itself, I'm wearing the size small. The fit is really good without feeling compressive. Completely windproof. I feel lovely and warm. I've done quite a lot of climbing on today's ride, and some of the climbing I was doing over 300 watts, and I didn't for a minute feel like I was overheating. I didn't feel the need to want to unzip the vents, you know, on the front of the jacket. There is air vents on the front here, like some of their other garments, and it's supposed to be really breathable, and I can't disagree with that on current evidence. The only thing I would say really, and it's a really picky thing, but it's psychological, is that blue is a cold colour. It makes you feel cold, and these vents being blue, they kind of give the impression that the jacket isn't as warm as it is. I think they would be better if they should have made these vents red. I know that's a really silly thing to say, but red's a warm feeling colour. You get the feeling of a fire, of the glow of the fire, whereas blue is cold. And I guess they've put blue on here because it's supposed to be worn when it's really cold, but kind of reverse psychology. I think you might feel a bit warmer in the jacket if it was red, you know, if the accents were red rather than blue, but what do I know, eh? But aero, definitely. I haven't felt it rustling in the wind. It's really comfortable. Some people have reported that they weren't comfortable when they were standing up in it. I am. I don't know what size they were wearing. This is size small, and the only size down from this is extra small, and you would have to be really tiny, I think, to wear that. You know, you'd have to be a gentleman of smaller stature, because if you're 6 foot in an extra small, I think the arms are not going to be long enough. But it's an absolutely fantastic piece of kit, and you know, I was thinking to myself, well, can you justify the price? And I was lying in bed last night, couldn't sleep. Actually, I've been suffering with a bit of bad back, which I got from stretching myself off the banister on the stairs, which is probably a stupid thing to do. But you know, I was lying there and I was thinking, well, you know, the jacket is 575 quid. I didn't pay that for it. I got it for 460. Even so, it's a lot of money. But I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't go to Starbucks or Costa or some of the others, Cafe Nero or whatever. But some people do on a regular basis, you know. And if you're thinking that your coffee every day is like £3, you add that up over the year, you know, you're probably spending £1,000 on coffee, which you're pissing down the drain, you know. So when you put it like that, that much money for this jacket, which you're going to keep for years and years, it actually isn't that expensive if you think about the time span you're going to have the jacket and the use you're going to get out of it and the pleasure you're going to get out of it, you know. And this is my first ride in it this morning, and it's a fantastic morning, which has probably elevated my mood. But if I was freezing cold, if this jacket wasn't doing its job, if it wasn't comfortable, if I felt like it wasn't as advertised, you know, all the weather in the world's not going to make me feel good about it. But I really rate this jacket, and I really rate ASOS's the clothing line. You know, I used to have the old Airblock 851 many years since, and I sold it because, quite frankly, it wasn't warm. You know, the front was supposed to be windproof, and it was to a degree, but it wasn't completely windproof. The back wasn't windproof at all, and it just used to sail straight through, you know. And you shouldn't, I mean, back then I think it was £185, which was a lot of money back then, but it wasn't warm, you know. And I think they've learned over the years, with, I would hope, feedback from people who bought their clothing, that if you're going to make something windproof, make it completely windproof. You know, I've never understood windproof fronts and then open at the back for winter, you know, because the wind blows from the back. The wind's blowing on my back now, you know. But should you buy it? I would say absolutely. You know, it looks sharp, you know, you feel good wearing it. All right, yeah, it looks sharp, you feel good wearing it. Fellow rider out there enjoying the view. Yeah, it looks good, it feels good, the craftsmanship is second to none. I don't know how it is in terms of waterproofness. It's supposed to hold out to moderate range for a couple of hours. Maybe I'll find that out someday and do another review, I don't know. But I can't fault it, you know. The only thing I would say, and it is that, like I said earlier, it's the most petty of things, I would have liked the material in these vents to be red. You know, I think for their winter line they should have put red accents on as a psychological thing, but I understand why they've put blue. I guess it's because it's supposed to be worn in the cold and you associate blue with cold. But that's really my only criticism of it. The only thing I would say, I suppose, maybe that could have been improved, but it's not detracting from my enjoyment of the jacket, is they could have had, like they have on the Ultras, a second sleeve underneath with a kind of like a more skin tight one which extends out, so you got like a kind of a double cuff. These are really good. They're long enough, you know, for even for my monkey arms outstretched, and for a size small I'm happy with that. If it hadn't have been the case, I wouldn't have been able to wear this jacket, you know. But it's great. It's a 10 out of 10, you know. The things that I've picked out as faults are of no consequence really, they're minuscule. So if you're looking for a jacket, this is it.